Hi everybody, welcome to Yagya VM. In today's video, we will discuss about the G7 countries. Recently, there has been a news that some of the countries in the G7 group are against the inclusion of Russia in the G10 or G11. So what is this news? Let us discuss. G7 countries was the group formed in the 1970s by the so-called most advanced nation. So now, what is the agenda? So recently, UK, that is United Kingdom of Britain, has issued a statement. So let us see what is that statement. Unless Russia ceases its aggressive and destabilizing activity, the UK would not support the country's readmission to the group. So which is this group they are talking about, and what is this readmission? So let me tell you briefly. Basically, in the 1970s, a group was formed which was called as G7. So at that point of time, some very developed countries formed this particular association. So in the year 2020, USA was to host the summit of G7. But before hosting the summit, President Donald Trump said that let us postpone this summit, and this G7, which has really a very less number of members, we will increase it to G10 or G11, and then the summit will take place. That is what was said by Mr. Donald Trump. So how will it become G10 and G11? Basically, Mr. Donald Trump gave invitation to 4 different countries, and from them India is one. So what are these 4 countries? India, South Korea, Australia and Russia. So here we can see that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, are shaking hand. So on one hand, basically USA wants the inclusion of Russia, and hence Mr. Donald Trump gave the invitation to Russia to include. On the contrary, some members of G7 countries like UK, Canada are against the decision of inviting Russia or inclusion of Russia, because they want to say that Russian policies are very aggressive and they can also lead to destabilization of the geopolitical scenario. Like for example, in the year 2014, Russia annexed Crimea part. So Crimea was a strategic part below Ukraine, for which Russia wanted to annex that part. Now because of that, initially G7 was the only intergovernmental organization of the most advanced countries. Then Russia was actually included in this group. That is how it became G8. After 2014, Russia was kicked out of this particular group, and again it transformed back to G7. So now since Russia is being invited again, so UK, Canada like countries, they wanted to oppose this. So Russia was removed from G7 countries of the nation following its 2014 annexation of Crimea. So what is why Russia wanted to annex Crimea? Because Crimea was at a very strategic location below Ukraine, from which monitoring of the European Union movements will be easy for Russia. So that is why it annexed Crimea. Similarly, it has also annexed some islands near Poland also, right? So they formed an intergovernmental group of 7 countries initially, which was G7, and they are the so-called most advanced nation. Why so-called? Because they were considered most advanced according to the IMF. However, in the today's geopolitical scenario, neither they comprise of the maximum amount of population, nor are they the highest contributors of the world economy. So but at that point of time, IMF had suggested that these countries are the most advanced countries. These 7 countries comprise approximately 46% of the global GDP and 32% of the global purchasing power parity. What is purchasing power parity? Purchasing power parity means in terms of dollars or in terms of any currency, how much amount of things can you purchase? What basket of goods can you purchase with the same amount of money given at a different country? So that is the purchasing power parity. Okay, so the GDP is not even 50% of these G7 countries, who are the so-called most advanced group of countries. Now, what are these G7 countries? So they are France, UK, USA, Italy, Canada, Japan and Germany. As we can see in this particular diagram, Canada, USA. Okay, so USA has 2 parts like this. Okay, these 2 from USA, then Canada, okay, then France, okay, and this one here you can find a small dot. So why is this part? This is obviously South America. So what does it have to do with the G7 countries? Basically, this is a territory called as French Guiana, which is under the ownership of France. Similarly, the European countries like UK over here, similarly Italy, okay, then Germany, right? All these countries. Similarly, see Japan. Okay, so if you want to remember it, if you want to remember it via a trick, the trick is Coffee Jug. Okay, the trick is Coffee Jug, CUFIJUG, Coffee Jug. Okay, Canada, UK, France, Italy, Japan, USA and Germany. Next up, what is the need to increase the group? Why this G7 will be transitioned into G10 or G11? Why is that? So let us say 3 countries are accepting the invitation, it will transform into G10. So India is very much looking forward to this particular inclusion. Similarly, there is a chance that Russia may come, may not come, because Russia in the recent years has developed a good amount of trade and friendship with China. So there are ambiguity over here. There is a certain amount of ambiguity over here whether Russia wants to join the G7 group or not. Similarly, if Russia is also joining, then the G7 will be transformed into G11. So what is the reason of increasing this particular group? Basically, as of today, this is not a representative body of all the countries, if we want to see, because they are the minority stakeholders in population, right? If we see, the most populated countries are India and China, which comprise somewhat 35 to 37% of the entire world's population. So if we are not including these countries, then obviously we are not addressing the population as a whole. Secondly, other developing countries start to enter in the top 5 major economies of the world, like China and India. So as you know, the country with the highest GDP is USA. Okay, the country with the second highest GDP is China, and the country with the 5th highest GDP is India. Okay, so we have even superseded or exceeded our colonial domination, which was Britain. Today we have our GDP even more than Britain. Okay, so we are the 5th largest economy of the entire world. But how come these countries are not included in the most advanced nations group? Okay. Thirdly, the very rich, these G7 group are very rich, so they are unable to cater to the poverty issues. As you know, these G7 countries are those countries which have a very less population, with the exception of USA. If we do not include USA and Japan like countries, then the other countries have very less population, first of all. Second thing is that those population are superiorly rich. Okay, they are very rich, so it is very difficult for them to even address the poverty issue or even to understand what kind of poverty scenario the world is going through. So how can they cater to the development or the inclusive development? So that is why some countries where majority of the population is poor or is impoverished needs to be included over here if we target overall development. Fourthly, these things show some countries should be included which are in transition, that is, they are neither too rich nor too poor and have a good understanding of the international diplomacy. Okay, so that is how G7 should be extended, and this particular decision was taken. When was it taken? Because in the year 2020 USA was to hold the summit of G7, so it said that let us postpone it and let us give invitation to 4 other countries, and then we will hold the summit of G10 or G11. I hope you are understanding what I am trying to convey here. Next up, what are the White House aspirations? So when we talk about White House aspiration, we generally say what is the president's aspirations or USA aspirations in general. So America wants to make the group of 7 into group of 11 by inclusion of Australia, South Korea, India and Russia. By this, USA wants to move itself against China. So as you know, since the past decade, if we see in the past decade, there has been a case of protectionism and a trade war between USA and China, as well as USA with few other countries also. Apart from that, since when the coronavirus has come up, USA has taken a bitter stand against China. So here USA has given invitation to 4 countries, but nowhere it has mentioned about China. So we can conclude that USA wants to move itself against China. So this move is giving us a proof of that. Similarly, if Russia joins this particular group, then it will strengthen the USA and Russia relationship. Next up, Russia may leave Chinese friendship. So as we know, when in 2014, after the Crimean crisis, Russia was asked to leave the group of G7. So after that, what happened? Russia started looking towards the east, and in the east, who are the major powers? Obviously, India wasn't that economically developed at that point of time. So Russia made allies and trade allies with China. Okay, so in the cases of defense equipments, it supplies China with very good quality weapons. Similarly, in case of trade also they have good deal. So China and Russia have been sharing a good amount of friendship, but if this becomes successful, then Russia may leave Chinese friendship, and once again USA and European powers may become friend with Russia, so their trade relations may start again. Okay. But what is Russia saying? What is Russian stand over here? What does Russia want here? So Russia says that it cannot participate in G7 without China. So it says include China as it is also one of the leading economic powerhouse. So this made other countries decide not to allow Russia in the group in the first place. Second thing, the spying agencies of Russia into England, this also made UK and Canada decide that they will try to veto this particular decision that Russia shouldn't be allowed into G7. So these are the reasons why G7 has been split into the decision of taking or not taking Russia. I hope you would have understood this entire session. In the next session, we'll take some more interesting topic, and I hope you would have enjoyed this. This will help you a lot in your examinations. Friends, my name is Yagyasani Patra. I teach on Unacademy Live. This is my referral code Yagya Live, YAGYALIVE. If you use my referral code, then you will get another 10% discount on your Unacademy Plus subscription. This is the Telegram link t.me/Unacademy OPSC. If you join this particular channel, you will get free study materials. Apart from that, you will get video updates about my next videos. For Civil Services 2021, Odisha Foundation course has been launched. So Nirman Foundation course, jaha ki 25th May start ho jai. In that, we are preparing students for Odisha Civil Services 2021. I am teaching Science, Tech and Current Affair in this particular course. So what are all my courses on Unacademy? First of all, Polity from M. Lakshmikant part 1 has been already completed. So you can watch the recordings, and my upcoming course Polity from M. Lakshmikant part 2 will just be started in June. So if you want to learn polity from me, you can join me on Unacademy. Then complete Science and Technology for OPSC and other government job examinations. Third, Current Affairs. So weekly current affairs also I am covering on Unacademy platform. This is my referral code YAGYA9, and alternatively you can also use my referral code Yagya Live, YAGYALIVE, for getting additional 10% discount. So apna a referral code ko bhi use kari paribe, and you can also use this referral code to get an additional 10% discount. These are my courses, so if you want to learn from me, you can join me on Unacademy Plus platform. So basically, what are the upcoming courses on Unacademy? First of all, there is a Garud course. In this Garud course for CPSC mains, that is the Police Services mains, grammar, that is Odia grammar, reasoning and general awareness are being taught by 3 great educators. Next up, Laksha OHC ASO course, in which for ASO aspirants, this particular course, it is a comprehensive course and it has started. The payment pattern is for 6 months it is 5,600, for 12 months it is 7,000 rupees, for 24 months it is 8,400 rupees. So as we know friends, when we prepare for this government job examination, we do not go for one government examination, we appear for many. Similarly, the preparation time is also not limited. We have to keep giving the examination. So according to me, the ideal plan is for 2 years or 1 year, in which not only one government examination like OPSC, but many government examination like OPSC, ASO, CPSC, Police SI, OMC, all kind of government examinations conducted by the government of Odisha will be given due importance, and individual courses will be launched for them. So you will get training not only for one exam but for many, okay, under this single platform of Unacademy. In this fee structure, you will get additional 10% if you use my referral code YAGYA9, YAGYA9, or if you use my referral code Yagya Live, YAGYALIVE, okay, to get additional 10% discount. Apart from that, there is no cost EMI option available for 6 months, 12 months and 24 months on your subscription. Finally, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and let's crack it.